Forget everything you thought you knew about buying plane tickets, especially flights to your next cruise. Seriously, what if I told you that your next flight, yeah, the one that you're planning right now to get you to your next cruise, that amazing port city or beach stay, well, it could be completely and utterly free. Nope, not a contest, not a gimmick. It's a strategy, and stick with me because by the end of this video, that strategy is going to be all yours. Let's go. Hi, welcome to Twists and Travels. We're Larry and Pam, a couple on a new adventure. After my life-changing scoliosis surgery, I can finally walk better and live with less pain. Now we're making the most of this new chapter, traveling together and exploring places we've always dreamed of. Join us as we share our journey of recovery, discovery, and all the amazing adventures ahead. The Frugal Cruiser Method. Our multi-part series is teaching you exactly how to cruise, fly, and stay in hotels for nothing, or as close to nothing as we can possibly get. This is episode 2, and today we're going to dive deep into a crucial piece of the puzzle, getting your flight to your next cruise port without emptying your wallet. Let's be real. Flights to your cruise departure city are expensive. Sometimes they're so expensive it makes your head spin. That dream cruise to the Caribbean or Alaska suddenly feels out of reach because of flight cost. So often, the price of the plane ticket to the port is the biggest hurdle stopping you from embarking on that amazing vacation. It feels like you're always saving, always cutting back, only to watch the flight prices keep going up. You've probably heard whispers about travel hacking. Well, credit card points, flying for free. Maybe it all sounded way too complicated, too good to be true, or just those super extreme globetrotters. I'm here to tell you it's real and it's totally doable. In this episode is your ultimate beginner's guide to cracking that code as part of our Frugal Cruiser strategy. We're going to break down step by step how the spending that you're already doing is going to get you to that departure city. The magical world of points and miles. What are they really? All right, let's pull back the curtain to this whole points and miles magic show. It's actually simpler than you think. And at its heart, we're talking about loyalty rewards. You've got miles, which you already earn through frequent flyer programs. Fly with an airline, show them some love, and they give you some miles. Pretty simple, right? What if I told you that that is not the easiest way to get free flights? And then you have points. These are the real superheroes of today's story. You mostly earn points by spending on credit cards, but you can also get them from hotel loyalty programs or other travel buys. Here's where it gets really exciting and is key for beginners. Not all points are created equal. You've got some points called fixed points or miles. Think of these as store credit cards, but for specific airline or hotel chain. So let's say you earn some Delta Sky miles. You're generally going to be using them on Delta. Useful? Yeah, sure, but flexible? No. What if where you're flying to, Delta doesn't go there? That's when we come into transferable points. These are the golden tickets. Oh. These are the master keys. These awesome points come from certain premium credit cards from big banks. Think Chase Ultimate Rewards, American Express membership rewards, Capital One miles, or Citi Thank You points. The real magic of these points is their flexibility. You can pile them up in your credit account, and then when you're ready to book that next cruise, you can transfer them to a ton of different airlines and hotel partners to make your flight for free. One day they could become United Airlines. Next day could be British Airways, Avios, or even Hyatt hotel points. The flexibility is incredibly powerful because it lets you shop around for the best deal across all different programs. That $1,000 flight to Miami that you're looking at might only be 34,000 points or 6,000 points, depending on what airline and when, if you strategically transfer them to the right airline partner. That's not just a tiny little difference. That's a complete game changer if you're trying to go on vacation. Cashing them out or using them through a bank's own portal often gives you the worst value. Sometimes it's only 1 cent per point. You could be selling yourself way short. Now, I know some of you are thinking, whoa, this already sounds complicated. All these program transfers, my head is spinning. I totally get it. The world of points and miles can feel like a lot at first, almost like learning a new language. I've been there. I get it. But trust me on this, the basics are super simple once you get the hang of it. And I'm even going to show you a program that makes it even easier. In the long run, it makes travel not just for the big spenders, not for the wealthy, but for everyday people like me and you. You can travel the world. You just need a little guidance. And that's exactly why I'm here today. But we'll take it step by step. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll be booking those free flights to your next cruise port. Your first mission, setting clear travel goals. Before you even think about applying for a credit card or getting into details of earning points, we need to do something fun. We're going to dream a little. Seriously, where do you actually want to go? And what cruise ports do you need to reach? What kind of travel experiences are you hoping for? This isn't just some fluffy exercise. Figuring out your travel goals is a super important first step in this whole thing. Are you dreaming of those fancy first class flights or business class flights? Or maybe your primary goal is practical and you just want to get from A to B. You want to get to that cruise port, you want to go on your cruise, whether it's Miami, Barcelona, or Singapore. Making the cruise itself the main expense. Perhaps you want to take the whole family on an epic Disney cruise, and covering the flights with points is key. Or just make your yearly cruise vacation way cheaper, maybe even with cool perks like airport lounge access before you go on your flight. Knowing what you want to get out of this will massively shape your strategy. For instance, if your heart is set on a Mediterranean cruise, departing from Rome, you'd probably want to focus on earning credit card points that transfer to airline partners that fly to Rome. Okay? You're not going to want to work on cards that transfer to go to Asia. You want to get to Rome, right? So you got to work on those flights. So you need to know your preferred cruise line departs out of a city that's a big hub for a specific airline, like Delta in Atlanta, American Airlines in Miami, and then a strategy that gets your points transferred to those airlines makes a ton of sense to get to your next cruise. Your goals will help you pick the right cards, decide which airline or hotel programs to pay attention to, and make sure you're earning the right kind of points for the trips you actually want to take. Without a clear goal, you're just collecting points without a plan, and it's not a smart way to get to your dream cruise destination for free. So take a second, picture that perfect cruise trip and the easiest flight to get there, okay? Is it American? Is it Delta? Southwest? All right, got it? Awesome. That's your North Star for this whole journey, okay? Keep it in mind as we go. That clarity will keep you motivated and make sure that your effort is aimed at turning that travel dream into a reality. This is where the real hack kicks in. We've talked about what points are and why you need travel goals, especially for reaching your cruise. Now let's get into the super exciting part, okay? The part about how to start piling up those points like a seasoned pro, even if you're a total newbie like I was. This is how we turn your everyday spending into future free flights to get to that cruise ship. All right, choose your first super powered credit card the right way, okay? Think of your first travel credit card as your launch pad for countless cruises. Picking the right one is so key. For beginners, I usually suggest starting with what are sometimes called foundational cards. Okay, these could be cards with no annual fee or a very low one, think $95. That's easily canceled out by the card's perks. Lots of great beginner travel cards fit that description. The absolute rocket fuel for your points balance, especially when you're just starting out, is the welcome bonus for new cards. There are amazing offers out there for new cards. You can get 60,000, 70,000, 80,000 or more just for starting up and doing a minimum spend in the first 6 months. It's usually $3,000 to $4,000, sometimes a little bit more, depends on which card, in 3 months. The 60,000 point bonus could easily be worth $750 or more in travel credit. That could be your round trip ticket to your next cruise port. Super importantly, as a beginner, aiming for the most flight flexibility to reach various cruise ports, you'll want to look for cards that earn those transferable points, like Chase Ultimate Rewards, American Express membership rewards, Capital One miles, or Citi Thank You. These are your options, and options for pure power in the travel hacking game. Now, what about annual fees? Don't let them scare you right off. Some cards don't have an annual fee. Most of them start around $95. They go up to $695 for the fancy ones, but they come loaded with benefits, okay? They can easily pay that fee if you think about it. Think travel cards, like $95 card, but you'll get $50 hotel credit. Perfect for the night before your cruise, right? So really it's a $45 card, but you're going to get that ton of points up on the front end. All right. It could also give you insurance. The Chase Sapphire Preferred is often called the Great Beginner's Card. It has a $95 annual fee. It gives you $50 a year for hotel credits, gives you insurance on your travel when you book it. It has several other benefits as far as how many points you get for spending. So you really need to look into it, and it's totally worth it for cruise travel. Always do the math for your own situation. That was the card that Larry and I started out with. Oh, and by the way, you want to play in what they call the 2P mode, which means the two-person mode. So if you're married or you have a significant other, brother, best friend, whatever, don't get one card and put their name on it. You want to get two cards so you get double the sign-on bonus, okay? For us, I got one card, got our spend on it, then I referred Larry for the same card, so I got a referral bonus, usually about 10 or 20,000 points, depending on the card. Then he gets the card, and then we get enough purchase for the sign-on bonus, okay? That way you got both sign-on bonuses, but only do one at a time, okay? Because it's a lot to spend if you do them both at the same time. And you'll want to get one, refer your P2 for it, and then you'll get the referral bonus. A quick tip for those looking to get into this game. All right, some card issuers like Chase have application rules like the 524 rule. It basically means they're not going to approve you for a card if you've opened 5 cards in the last 24 months. Okay, it might slip through, but more often than not, it won't. So a lot of the professional hackers or the seasoned hackers, they'll tell you to start with your Chase cards, okay? Think Chase Sapphire Preferred, the Reserve card, the ink cards, the business ink cards. Guys, if you have a business, or if you can think you have a business, sell some stuff on Facebook or on eBay, and guess what? You got a business. You do Uber part-time on the side, you got a business. Get those business cards, guys, because they don't count towards that 5 rule usually. Now they can, but I've gotten a lot of ink cards on top of my 5 credit cards for the year or 2 years, and Chase didn't get any trouble. So once you have your shiny new card, it's time to make it work for you, all right? Finding those flights to your cruises. The golden rule of earning points is so simple, it's almost sneaky. Use your travel reward card for as many of your regular budgeted expenses as possible. Groceries, gas, phone bill, utilities if you can, streaming services, a daily coffee. Don't spend any money that you weren't already going to spend, okay? Because then you're just going to mess up. Just always make sure that you're using the right card for the right purchase. Some cards give you 3 or 4 or 5% back for groceries. Why would you want to use one that's only going to give you 1%? So be sure you know what your rewards are, okay? The most important rule in this game, you must, and I mean must, pay your balance in full every single month. Do not carry a balance. The interest rates on these cards are sky high, and you're just going to negate any points that you got, any savings for your flight if you're paying interest on what you bought. Biggest, most important thing is only use your cards for things you're already going to spend money on, and then just pay them back off. Okay. So, for an example, I have a business line on my cell phone where myself and my kids were all on one bill. Okay. But the bill is like $350 a month. But that sucker goes on my credit card every month. So I get points from that every month. And then we pay it every month. So I never let it ride on interest. Okay. If you ever boo boo and you don't get your card paid off in time, call the bank and say, "Oh, I missed the deadline. Is there any way you might reimburse those late fees?" Sometimes they will, not always, but sometimes. What I do whenever we open up a new card, I immediately set it on auto pay for the minimum amount due. You can set it on auto pay for the full balance if you're good, which is what you should do. I always set it for the minimum just to make sure I never get charged a late fee. That way, if my checking account's a little low this month, I at least make that minimum, and then I get it paid off before the interest starts accruing on it. So always pay your card off. Okay. Now we're going to talk about turbocharging your savings. Okay. These are category bonuses. I alluded to it a minute ago. Some cards will pay you 3 points per dollar spent on dining, 2 points on travel, 5 on groceries, 5 on the. You got to know which cards pay what. Okay, we bought these cute little stickers from Amazon, I think it was. I'll show them. And you would just put the stickers on the back. You put a little gas tank so you know this one gives you 2x gas. This one gives you 3x dining, 5x dining, 4, whatever it is. So you make sure you always use the right card at the right time to get the most points out of it. That way you'll be getting to that cruise in no time. Hitting the minimum spending requirement. All right, your welcome bonus is the first mission. You do not want to not spend enough to get that welcome bonus, okay? But don't go out and buy a bunch of stuff that you don't need, all right? Instead, shift your regular budgeted bills onto this card. I kind of alluded to that. Have your cell phone on your card if they don't charge you. I have Verizon, they don't charge. Your gas bill, your electric bill, your water bill, your homeowner's insurance, your car insurance, and let's not forget groceries, gas, all those little things. Put them all on that card so you can get that welcome bonus as quickly as you can. And then you can move on to the next card. All right. First year I did this, Larry and I opened up about 20 different credit cards. Don't do that because now I can't open any. So I'm kind of stuck with no more bonuses for a little while. I got to give it a break so that, they keep dinging me like, why do you have so many cards? So don't open up so many in a row like I did. All right. But you want to make sure that you get that minimum spend. There's a program called Travel Freely. It's an app you can download on your phone. It's completely free. When you get a new card, you just enter that in and it'll tell you when the date's due for that bonus. And when you hit the bonus, you go back in there and say, got it, done. But it'll also send you a reminder the next year when your annual fees are due. Because then you can look at what the app shows you is good or bad about keeping the card and decide if you want to keep the card or not. Don't ever close a credit card till it's been over a year. Okay. Let those annual fees hit. If you don't want the card, call and cancel it. They'll refund it back. But if you cancel the card early, some banks, American Express is the worst, will yank back those points. So don't do that. All right. Bonus boosters, shopping and dining portals. So you want to kick your points earning into even a higher gear without spending extras to get you to that cruise faster. Let me introduce you to the wonderful world of shopping and dining portals. So most of y'all have probably heard of Rakuten, right? So if you haven't, you need that app for sure. If you get an American Express card, link it up with Rakuten so that your points won't come in your big fat check. It'll get transferred as points onto your credit card. So not points in a credit, but membership reward points, okay, the transferable kind. So you want to make sure that you sign up for all the portals. And when you need to buy something, don't go straight to that retailer site. Go to your portal, see if there's a link for it. Sometimes you get a few % off, but most importantly, you also get your points. So boom, you can get anywhere between 1 to 10% extra points just for shopping through that portal. All right. Same thing as a lot of airline programs have dining programs. You link your card to a dining program, like American Airlines has one. When you eat at participating restaurants, cafes, bars, whatever, you automatically earn bonus miles. You're going to eat out anyway, right? Why not go to one that's going to give you extra points and get to that cruise port even faster? All right. Also, keep your eyes peeled for special offers and promotions. Credit card companies and loyalty programs are always running limited time deals. You ever get that email from Southwest at 50% off sale, or American Express, or not American Express, excuse me, American Airlines? They'll run a fly anywhere for 5,000 points or 6,000 points, depending on where you live. Keep an eye out for those, because those are fantastic little boosts to get your points up and to get the cheaper flight when you book it. All right. Sign up for their emails so that you'll actually get those. Those are the junk mail emails that you actually want. So by strategically picking your card, making the most of your everyday spending and paying it off, again, pay it off, using category bonuses and tapping into these portal power-ups, you'll be well on your way to some serious points balances for your cruise flights before you know it. The payoff, redeeming your points for free flights. All right, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. You've been smart, you've been strategic, you got the right card, you did the right spin, you got your bonus, you got this awesome pile of points just waiting to be used. So how do you actually turn those digital treasures into real world free flights? Let's break it down. Option 1. Most major credit card programs offer these flexible transferable points. Again, Chase Ultimate Rewards, American Express Membership Rewards. They have their own travel portals. So Chase Travel, Amex Travel. Booking through these portals is pretty straightforward. You can think of it as like using Expedia or Kayak. You log into your credit card account, go to the travel portal, search for flights to your cruise port, and you'll see the price in both cash and points. So you can use your points right there to pay for it. With some cards, your points have a fixed and sometimes even better value when you use them this way. For example, if you have the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, your points are worth 1.25 cents each when you redeem them through the Chase Travel Portal. Okay, so your 60,000 points will get you about $750 worth of travel. Not bad. If you have an even fancier card like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which also has the fancier annual fee, then your points are worth 1.5 cents each. It can be a great option, especially for economy flights to common cruise ports when the cash price for those flights are pretty reasonable. Option 2, the max value play, transferring to airlines partners. This is where the real magic happens, okay? You got all these points, you want to get to Rome, you're going to have to transfer them to an airline that goes to Rome, right? You know what? When you look at this site that I'm going to share with you, it's called Daily Drop Pro. You can go on that one site, type where you want to go, and you can make it tell you. It'll automatically look for these trips. But if there's not anything yet, you can put a notice in there. So every time you get a cool sale or the flight goes on sale, you'll get a flash message on your phone that'll say, hey, you can fly to Greece for $257. And I'm not kidding. That was actually offered not long ago to go to Athens. You could go to Paris for less than $400. Round trip too, guys. You can fly to Dublin for $350. These are all real live deals that I've gotten. And they'll also send you point deals. Like you can fly to Rome for 55,000 points in business class, guys, in business. If you're not ever flown business class, you need to check it out, especially for these long flights. You can lay the seat down all the way, take your little snooze on the way, and you'll get there fresh as a baby after the nap. Booking flights through the actual airlines and transferring your points is how you get these awesome deals, okay? It's really hard to look through all the airlines and have 20 tabs open to see which one is going from point A to point B when you just want to get to B to go on that cruise, right? So this is just too much. Check out this website I'm going to show you. It's called Daily Drop Pro. The best program I have found to find the best flight and best hotel awards is Daily Drop Pro. I'll leave a link in the description, but you really need to check them out. You can start with a free account. This website and app will allow you to do award searches, and it makes it so much easier. Guys, I used to have 10 or 15 pages open, so it's so much easier. Please use my affiliate link that I'll put in the description, as it allows me to make a little bit of money for the referral. I only suggest them because searching for award flights can take many, many hours, and still you might not find the best one. Go check it out. So the power of flexibility. Whether you're booking through a portal or transferring partners, being flexible is your absolute superpower when it comes to redeeming flights or points for flights. Award seat availability, especially for the best deals or popular routes to cruise ports, can be tricky to find. If you can be flexible with those travel dates, like flying a day or two before your cruise, midweek instead of on the weekend, not going to the specific cruise port, like going to Fort Lauderdale instead of Miami, or Miami instead of Fort Lauderdale, whichever it might be, you can find amazing flights, and the choices go way up. So one thing I want to throw out there real quick: free flights to your cruise port aren't completely free. Most award tickets will still require you to pay the taxes and government fees. Can't forget Uncle Sam. These range from anywhere from a few dollars, usually like $5.60 for domestic flights, to a couple $100 for international trips, depending on the airline and the route. Some are known to have higher fuel surcharges. And like if you fly into London Heathrow, you're going to pay a higher fee. Not sure why, but you do. So you just look around and make sure that the fees are not going to surprise you, okay? Still going to be a lot cheaper than the cash price, I'm sure. It takes a little bit of digging to find the sweet spots, but believe me, the thrill of booking your flight to your cruise for just points and hardly any cash is something you won't forget. So here's a few mistakes that you need to make sure you avoid. Now that you're all fired up to earn and burn those points for flights to your next cruise, let's chat about a few common traps. Steering clear of these mistakes will save you a ton of headaches and get the most out of your credit points journey. These are a few things that can mess up your dreams of free flights and your cruise faster than unexpected turbulence. First and foremost, I know I sound like a broken record here, but it's that important. Not paying off your credit card balance in full every single month. Seriously, paying interest is just canceling your rewards. End of story. Your free travel to cruise isn't free if you're paying 20, 30% interest on whatever you spent to get those points. Just don't do it. Secondly, letting those hard-earned points expire. Yep, points and miles do have expiration policies. Often, if your account is inactive for a while, they'll close it. And I'm talking about like your, let's say, JetBlue, for example. We got a JetBlue credit card, Larry did, for the points. And then we found JetBlue doesn't fly out of where we live. How silly was that we didn't look first? That's why I mentioned that earlier, okay? Anyway, we were afraid we were going to lose those points. So I actually am going to fly American Airlines from here to Orlando. And then in January, when we're going on a cruise out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, we're going to use our JetBlue points to go from Orlando to Puerto Rico. And then after the cruise, back to Orlando, and then American Airlines back home. Crazy. With my back situation, I can't fly all that in one day anyhow, so we're just going to stay the night in Orlando, so we're not stressing over the connection time. But make sure that you watch to make sure your points don't expire. Don't want that to happen. The third huge no-no in the points world is redeeming your valuable points for low-value stuff. Yes, if you have your credit card linked to, say, Amazon, and you're checking out your Amazon cart and it says, hey, you've got 20,000 points. Would you like to use that towards your purchase? Oh, I won't have to spend 20 bucks. Woohoo, okay. No, don't do that. Okay, keep in mind, for an example, for 6,000 points, I can fly American Airlines from Lubbock, Texas, all the way to Fort Lauderdale. Don't use them for $60 worth on Amazon, okay? The fourth thing, picking a credit card that doesn't actually fit your spending habits or your cruise travel goals. So if you hardly ever eat out, a card that gives you a ton of points for eating out probably isn't the one you need, okay? You want the one that gives you the most grocery points, right? Because you're not eating out. I hope you're buying groceries. If you drive a lot, then you want one that gives you a lot of points for gas, for example. If you frequently cruise out of ports primarily serviced by an airline that isn't a transfer partner of your card's points, you're going to end up very frustrated. Think back to those travel goals we talked about, specifically getting to your cruise. For example, American Airlines, you can't transfer points to American Airlines. So you need to get a co-branded American Airline credit card, like the AA Advantage Red Card from Barclays. Guys, keep an eye out for that one because it'll offer 60 or 70,000 points. And all you gotta do is have a spend. One spend. I bought a Coke and I got 70,000 points. Can't beat that. 5, hoarding your points forever. Like a dragon is guarding its treasures. Well, it's great to save up for a big trip. Don't hoard them for too long because travel partners change and they might not take your points. They might decide, oh, we're not going to partner with Chase anymore. You got 2 million Chase points and you were going to transfer them and now you can't. Now you got to transfer them here instead and it's not as good a deal. Don't hoard your points, okay? Strategically spend them. I'm not telling you to burn them just because you got them, but don't just keep on earning and not using any of them, okay? Sixth thing, not meeting the minimum spending to get that bonus. It's like leaving free money on the table, okay? You have to know how much you have to spend because that money could have paid for your flight to your next cruise. Why waste it? Okay, so you need to know how much you got to spend. It's $3,000. Set a reminder every month. Have I spent $1,000 on this card? Yes, no. Have you spent it the next month? Yes, no. Make sure you're ahead of schedule. Always finish your spend. I like to finish my spend at least 2 weeks early. That way, I make sure there's no pending charges when that last day hits and I don't get my bonus. Okay, so always finish your spend. Okay, and the last thing is just being too intimidated to even start. I know there's a bit of a learning curve. I've been there, but when you get to take a free flight to your next cruise, it'll all be worth it. Don't let the fear of making a mistake stop you from even trying. Everyone starts somewhere. I am not a professional about this. I am new still, and I've been doing it for a couple of years. So everybody's got to start somewhere. All right. Back to the Daily Drop Pro. If you go on their Facebook page, Daily Drop Lounge, you can ask all kinds of questions, and they have free training in there. The Daily Drop Pro has training how to find these flights. What credit card should you get? They show you the transfer partners, everything. If y'all ever watch YouTube and look for Kara and Nate, they're the founders of this program. They started back in 2016 flying on points and miles because Nate saved a ton of points, and that's how they started. Anyway, avoid these blunders, and you'll be navigating the points game like a pro in no time. And more importantly, you'll get to those ports for your cruises for free. And the money you save, you can spend it on your cruise. Sounds great. So is it really worth it? Yes, yes, yes. So after all this talk of points, miles, transfers, strategies, you're sitting there going, oh my God, is this worth it? Yes, a huge, huge definite yes. Think about it. We're talking about the ability to take flights to your cruise ports for free. Those flights could have cost you hundreds, even thousands of dollars. And you're going to get to go for the little bitty cost of taxes. And if it's a domestic flight, we're talking $5. This is the cornerstone of the frugal cruiser method that we are coming up with. Getting to your cruise for less makes the whole vacation significantly more affordable. We're talking about potentially leveling up your travel experiences. Maybe fly business instead of coach for the first time. So something that felt completely out of reach before is now in reach. And it also means more cruise vacations, more onboard activities, more seeing the world from the deck of a ship. Yes, some of the best travel reward cards do come with annual fees, But as we discussed, these fees can often be offset and then some by the card's travel benefits and perks like free checked bags, which can save a family a ton of money in just one flight to a cruise port. How many people have you seen going on a ship with 3 or 4 suitcases? Can you imagine paying $50, $60, $100 each for that? If you have the right credit card, guess what? No baggage fees. It's great. Many people find that the benefits far outweigh the annual costs, especially when they match the card to their cruise travel habits. This isn't about getting rich quick or anything like that. It's about traveling smarter to your cruises. There's a bit of a learning curve, absolutely, and it does take some organization. I told you a couple of apps. You can use Travel Freely to organize your cards, Daily Drop Pro to find those award tickets. But if you treat your credit card spending like a strategic game, it can open up a world of cruise travel to you, or even just flying travel that you might have thought was totally impossible. Guys, Larry and I flew to Southeast Asia this past year for free in business class. I have a bad back. There's no way I could have flown that far in economy. No way. With business class, I could lay down, I could stretch my back as needed, whatever. And the food, it was amazing. All right, so once you take your first free flight to anywhere, whether it's to a cruise port or anywhere, trust me, you'll be hooked. And you'll know it was absolutely worth every little bit of effort. All right, this is your call to action. Are you ready to stop just dreaming about the incredible cruise destinations and actually start planning to get there for free, especially those flights to your next cruise departure or bucket list spot? If this episode of Fly for Almost Free, the Frugal Cruiser Method, has got you excited to turn everyday spending into your next boarding pass to your next cruise, do me a favor, smash that like button right now. And guys, I need you to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing, and I'll bring more and more stuff like this to you, more cruise information, more travel information, a lot of travel hacks, ways to make money. If you want more tips and tricks and deep dives into Frugal Cruiser Method, covering everything from cruises, hotels, flight hacks, make sure you hit subscribe. My next episode, I'm going to tell you how to stay for free in the hotels the night before. I'm super curious, what cruise port is the first place you want to fly to? Let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions, drop them there too. I try to answer every single one. Okay, that's it for episode 2 of Cruise for Almost Free, the Frugal Cruiser Method. You now have the ultimate beginner's hack to unlocking free flights using credit card points, a crucial step in making that dream come true, and the travel to get there incredibly affordable. It's not a myth, it's a method. By understanding the basics of points and miles, you can set clear goals, choosing the right cards, maximize your daily spend, and responsibly redeeming those points like a pro. You can quit paying those crazy airfares to get to your next cruise. This is how we fly for next to nothing, the key part of our frugal cruiser strategy to explore the world. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single point. Get out there and start collecting yours today for that flight for your next cruise. Make sure to join us for the next episode in the series as we continue to show you how to travel for almost free. Go out there and start collecting your points to get your free flight to your next cruise, and we'll see you out there. Don't forget to subscribe, because my next episode is going to be hotel nights without paying a dime. And this is how we're going to continue to show you how to travel for almost free. Happy travels, and we'll see you in the sky, or maybe on the Lido deck. Bye now.